Welcome to episode number 31 of Career Pro Tips by Life in the Green Room. Life in the Green Room is all about helping busy professionals who want more out of their career. We provide action-oriented, tool-based plans that allow you to take the ownership of your career and start navigating in the direction that you want to go. Career Pro Tips is a weekly video series where we take one little nugget and we dive into it. We talk about the issue and we think about strategies and tactics that you can apply right away for this issue. My name is Heather Green McLinn, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at a Fortune 500 company. I put this all together because as I've progressed over my career, I started hearing the same questions about, I feel like I'm getting looked over and passed over, and I feel like I'm floundering. I've been in the same spot for 3 years, and I know I have more to give, and I know I have more I can contribute. What can I do to influence that? So I started to look around and see what was working, and I pulled together all this information, and then I started realizing the patterns and seeing that I've used these tools, whether I realize it or not, and I've seen my peers use them, my team use them. I know that they're going to help you start to take ownership of your career. So today, for episode number 31, we are diving into a topic that's a little bit more fluffy. We are talking about dress at work, dressing for work, dressing for the career that you have and the career that you want. So let me say straight out of the gate that if you are in the fashion industry or any related industry, that this advice is not for you. I am in no way a fashion expert or a fashionista, so if this area is actually core to your job, please don't heed this advice. But for the rest of us who are in really any other space that's not key, that's really honed in on fashion, I think this topic is important, and there's some things that we can really learn with a little bit of reflection and a little bit of planning about your outfits. So I have 4 or 5 different things that I'm going to throw out there today for you to think about when you are trying to figure out, man or woman, regardless of your industry, what is the dress that's going to set you up for the most success. The first thing that I want you to think about is what makes you confident. Think back over the past few months and what outfits have you worn that you have just felt like, man, I have it today. I feel put together. I feel on top of it. I can conquer a lot of things. When I go to the restroom, I'm like, oh, I'm looking really good today. That is a huge key in the types of outfits that you should incorporate on a regular basis into your wardrobe. Confidence is a huge influence over your career, and what you wear makes a unreasonable difference in your confidence. It shouldn't, in my opinion, but it really does. So think about what makes you feel really confident, that's specific to your industry, and how can you incorporate that. I will also say that this and any other thing I'm going to talk about today has to be within the guidelines of your dress code at work. If you have a dress code, think about how you apply these tips completely within the realm of what's appropriate for your work and what dress codes that you have. So, what makes you super confident? The second thing I want you to think about is, what are you comfortable in? Now, I'm not talking about sweatpants comfortable, and I'm not trying to pick on sweatpants. There's great, but I'm talking about, is something pinching? Does it look great when you're standing up completely still, but the minute you sit down, something's gapping, or it's too short, or it's hiking, or otherwise awkward? Are your shoes great, but the second you take a step, you can't wear them? Or they're great unless you're running through an airport? Okay, what's comfortable and what's functional for you? Those are super, super important. And it's really hard to be extremely confident when you can't be functional or comfortable. So tie those together. Think about what's going to make you confident and what's comfortable and functional for your job. Maybe those high shoes are perfectly appropriate because most of your day you're behind your desk. But if you were running through the airport, probably not your best bet. Okay, what makes you comfortable? What makes you confident? The third thing I want you to think about is, what does it say about you and how are you representing yourself? And the best example that I can give to you, work with me here, is I was promoted to vice president when I was pregnant with my son a couple of years ago. And when I came back from maternity leave, my clothes didn't fit. I was still wearing maternity clothes, and I felt extremely frumpy, and I felt like I wasn't representing myself as a vice president well, and it was like the one last thing I couldn't even handle. I was learning how to be a working mom, I was learning how to be a vice president, and on top of it, I felt gross about my clothes and what I was wearing. Now, that's the caveat, of course, is that I had a lot of raging hormones going on because I just had a baby. So please set that aside, but think about the rest of that statement. If you're feeling frumpy or something that doesn't align up with your current job or the job that you're going after, figure out how do you put those in alignment. And so for me, I had to, even though I was tired on the weekends, go shopping and find a few things, and it wasn't quite working. So I started trying services like Stitch Fix and others, and I landed on Gwynny Bee, which I completely love. It's a rental service for regular working clothes, not like Rent the Runway, but they send me clothes, I wear them, I ship them back. I still use it today, 2+ years, a year and a half later, because it's just such a good fit for who I want to be. It helps me find things I'm comfortable in, I'm confident in, and that are kind of representing me in the correct way. That has led me to tip number 4, which is find your uniform. Now, a uniform for me is the clothes I want to wear repeatedly that I know I'm going to feel good about, that I know I'm going to feel confident in. So for me, it's a dress and boots in the winter. It's a dress and my Rothy's or some other flat in the summer. This has been a go-to staple since I went through that process of not feeling good about myself and my clothes. They're easy for me to wear. They're comfortable. I feel like they look good. I feel confident in them. They pack well when I travel. They check all the boxes for me, and they work well for what I'm going for. But find out what that uniform is for you. It doesn't mean you wear the same thing every day. It could, but it could also just mean, hey, I have this type of clothes, this type of outfit, this type of shirt and pants combo, and I'm just going to get all of my wardrobe around that so I don't have to think about it in the morning. I go to my closet, I pick out my uniform, and I'm on my way, and I'm feeling confident. The thing about this that's so awesome is that once you figure it out, you put it on autopilot. You have to do the work initially, but then for me, the beauty is I don't think about my clothes very much during the week at all. I think through, I'm going to wear a couple dresses, maybe I'll wear a blazer, I'm done. I don't sit in front of my closet during the week and ever waste time in like, what should I wear today? I know what I feel good about and what's going to help me be productive and confident and comfortable at work. So the 5th thing that I want you to think about when you're thinking about your wardrobe is 2 different cliches. The first one is to dress for the job that you want. So if you want to be a vice president at your company and they all wear suits, you better at least start throwing in a blazer into your outfit rotation. So you are starting to represent yourself as, hey, I can look like you, act like you, think like you, behave like you. I can be a vice president here. I truly believe that that's really important. But make it specific to your industry. I listen to the podcast, Happier in Hollywood. It's one of my guilty pleasures. It's like a TV show. I don't miss it each week. And they've talked about not hiring people because people have come in there in suits and they're in Hollywood where jeans and a t-shirt is completely appropriate. And they see somebody come in a suit and it just doesn't fit with them. So figure out how to dress for the job that you want in the industry that you're in and work towards your wardrobe that's going to match that. The second cliche that I want you to think about under my number 5 is dressing for success. There's like an expression or a saying out there that you do better when you're dressed up. Now, I don't think dressed up means the same thing for everybody, but there is scientific evidence that even kids in high school have better test scores when they dressed up versus going in their gym clothes. And so what does that mean for you? I think to me, it's the clothes that makes you confident and comfortable, and it's in your uniform and it's where you're trying to go. That is the clothes I think that makes you successful, not necessarily dressed up versus dressed down. What is the essence that you're trying to represent in your industry, in the space that you're trying to go? This has been a super fun topic for me. I do want to have a couple closing thoughts. I don't think that figuring out your dress will skyrocket your career. But I do think it's an important piece of it that can help you. Anything that raises your confidence can help so many other aspects of your life. I have actually chosen confidence as my word of the year in 2020. That's how strongly I feel about this. So I think that finding what is going to make sense for you is a confidence booster that will help you with your career. I also love it because you do it once, you figure it out, and then you set it for a year or 2 years or however long until you think you need to reevaluate your dress again, and then you can take another look at it. So I think that it's worth looking at your outfits and looking at your wardrobe and your dress and say, does it make me feel comfortable? Does it make me feel confident? Does it say what I want to say about me? Is it aligned with where I'm going? And if not, make a couple of tweaks and find your uniform so you can set it and forget it. Let me know how you think about your clothes for work. How do you set yourself up for success? And what has worked and what hasn't for you? Until next week, here's to owning your career journey.